What's up, everybody? Today I have a FS45. Guy brought it to me. He says it's hard to start. Sometimes when it does start, it doesn't run great. So I'm going to take you through a couple steps for diagnosing the running, but also he said at the same time just do a service. He hasn't serviced it in a long time. One of the first things I noticed is the bulb is cracked, and obviously that's going to have a problem with it starting. So let's check into that first. I can just replace the bulb right from here, but because he wants it serviced anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and take everything apart. I'm going to dump this fuel out because I want to check the fuel filter and the fuel lines. And it does have 2-stroke fuel in there, which is good. Alright, so I took the 8mm bolts off. I took the fuel cap off and emptied the fuel. And now I'm going to remove the fuel lines here and inspect those. And then this little throttle cable comes out of there. So I'm going to take a look at the car. We'll probably clean it. I'm definitely going to replace that bulb. But in the meantime, I want to check the fuel lines and the fuel filter. Take the gasket off here. I'm gently going to pry up on this and try not to ruin it. There's a little dirt inside the gas tank. Alright, so fuel filter looks really clean. Fuel lines are free. So I'm not going to mess with those. I am going to blow out the gas tank though. I'm going to reinstall the fuel lines. So next thing I want to look at is the spark arrestor, which is right here. You can see it. And if this is clogged, I'm probably going to remove the exhaust and check the exhaust port. However, you can see that it is not too bad. You can kind of see through it a little bit, but I'm gonna clean this anyway. Definitely some oil on there and definitely some buildup on there, but not bad. How I clean this is I use a torch and I burn all this carbon buildup off. Now, while I let that cool down before I touch it with my hands, you can kind of see how much cleaner that is. So I'm gonna let that cool. I don't think I'm gonna take the exhaust off because that wasn't too bad. If that would have been caked, I would have taken the exhaust off and cleaned the exhaust port where it comes out, because sometimes I've seen that actually close up. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull the carburetor apart. I'm gonna clean that up. I want to look at the diaphragm here too. There's the fuel filter screen inside the carburetor, which looks pretty good. Even the carburetor looks good. This gasket doesn't look bad at all. I'm gonna keep an eye on that though. If the metering diaphragm is bad, I'm just going to replace the gaskets all around. But I want to take a look at this. So there's your metering diaphragm. It's a little crunchy. I might have to replace that. So what we're looking for is how pliable this is. If it feels like almost like plastic, it's time for a new one, which this one is kind of in between. So I think I'm going to replace it. But I'm going to pull this up and take a look underneath anyway. Not too bad. A little bit of gelling in there from the gas. The other thing you want to look at the height of this inlet needle. If this is sticking up too high, you're going to get too much fuel. If it's too low, the metering diaphragm will not hit it and not allow enough fuel to get in to the carburetor. It should almost be flush. It should almost be flush with the top of the. There's a tool for that, but I kind of just eyeball it. And the other thing I want to check while I'm in here is the main jet. And that's the main jet right there. And I can see through it. There's daylight there. Alright, so I'm going to leave this apart until I get the parts. In the meantime, I just want to take a look at the spark plug. Probably that's about it. And it's probably just putting it back together and starting it up. And as you can see, this is running a little bit lean. Alright, so I'm just going to wait for those parts to come in and then catch you up then. Okay, we're back with the FS45. New parts came in for the carburetor. Put the spark arrestor in already. Got a new spark plug, about to put everything back together. I cleaned the fuel filter, cleaned out the gas tank, so I'm just going to put this carb back together and see how it works. So I already got the carb here, and you have the gasket and the new diaphragm. Okay. All right, so diaphragm down first, then the gasket over top, and then the new primer bulb. Put this back together. Do the throttle cable first. There's a little notch back here for the throttle holder to sit into. And you got your two fuel lines. The one with all the crimps in it goes to the intake, and the longer one goes up here to the top to the primer bulb. And the gasket's still here on the airbox. All right, let's give it a shot. Small adjustment on the carb there at the end, and all ready to go. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Just trying to build my channel up here, and you know, subscribe for more. Thanks.